everyone, and happy Thursday. We are almost to the weekend. I cannot wait. If you are tuning into this Tisha Talks Alive, this is a series that I started back in September to really challenge myself to get on a live stream and to talk about whatever is on my mind or introduce you to a guest, add value to your life, add some nuggets of wisdom, and away we go. So this is Tisha Talks Live. I do this every Tuesday and Thursday at 4:45 Arizona time. It is the perfect segue between my day of taking off the entrepreneur hat and putting on the mom hat and the soccer mom hat and all that good stuff. So today I want to bring up this topic. And before we get started, I just wanted to share that you can definitely send me a comment or chat with me in the chat box. Nat Handler, here's an example. Away we go. Yes, Nat, great to have you on with us. This is being broadcast through StreamYard, of course, through LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. So if you catch me talking to people and you're like, who the heck are these people that she's talking to? They're probably on another platform tuning in. So Nat, of course, being on Facebook, you might see some people off LinkedIn as well. But I also do check the comments. So if you can't catch this whole live stream and you want to get back to it, and you want to watch the replay, by all means, check it out. I'm going to drop some major nuggets. Nat has actually sat through one of my presentations on networking with a purpose, and I thought it was a really good idea to bring some of these nuggets back to this conversation. So this conversation was inspired by, or this Tisha Talks was actually inspired by my newest connection off of LinkedIn. His name is Kevin Logan Jr. And we were not connected yet, but through the powers of LinkedIn, I saw his post and he talked about organic reach on LinkedIn. And I'm not just going to say that this is just pertinent to LinkedIn. I'm going to say this is pertinent to all social media platforms of how we connect with people and how we continue to create that organic relationship. So the question today is, do organic relationships really happen online? And how do they happen? Plus, I'm going to give you some nuggets as to things that you should never, ever, ever do in this live stream. So I hope you're taking good notes. There is a replay if you want to catch it as well. So first things first, do organic relationships happen online? And I know Nat would agree with me that absolutely they do. But here's what I'm going to tell you. It is not an effortless situation. You cannot create relationships by just sitting and just watching and taking zero action. Okay, if you're going to create a relationship with someone, it has to be a two-way street. Every relationship is a two-way street. And so when people ask me, how do you create organic relationships online? I like to say it's through posting. I do post. I post every single day on LinkedIn. I'm doing a lot of videos and posts and pictures and so on. But I will say, if you are not at that point where you're posting yet, even engaging on other people's content is a great way to get started. And when I say engage with people on other people's content, that is not just a thumbs up, a heart, Hulk hands, or whatever it is. That is actually taking the time to comment on what they're saying. And then here's what I'm going to tell you. If you like that person's content that much, here's a really good opportunity for you to segue into checking out their profile and then sending them the connection request, actually getting that conversation started. I find that one of the biggest mistakes that people make, though, and this is the same if you were at a networking event, is people who send connection requests, whether that's on Facebook or on LinkedIn or whatever platform you're choosing, and you say nothing. You don't say a word. You don't say hi. You don't say anything. You just expect that someone is going to be like, oh, I think Nat wants to connect with me, but I don't know Nat, and I don't really know why we need to connect. And you don't at least have the conversation, or you don't say hi. I say this at networking events. Would you go to someone that you realize, so Junette's on LinkedIn. I miss you too, lady. Would you go to Junette? I'm just using her as an example because she's tuning in, and just stand next to her and not say a damn word, hoping that she gets the signal that that you want to talk to her. No, you wouldn't. You would start the conversation, and that's the one thing, and I can prove it to you. When you look at your connection requests on LinkedIn, you probably have hundreds of connection requests, and maybe 5 people have actually taken the couple of seconds it takes to write a little message like, hey, Nat, hey, Junette, I love your content on LinkedIn. I'd really love to connect with you. This is exactly what happened with this gentleman, Kevin Logan Jr. And Junette, I don't know if you know him. I love this post. He did this great post on the magic of LinkedIn is organic growth. And I want you, if you haven't yet, check out that post that he wrote because it is brilliant. He talks about how he comes up with content. And that's the other thing that I want to share is when people are talking about content, they're overthinking it so dang much that then they get all in a tizzy, they get anxiety, and then they're like, I didn't post anything. I'm not posting anything. I don't want to post anything. It doesn't have to be that complicated. And I love that Kevin put it into context. He actually did a funny video off of he talks about the magic of organic, and it's sitting on a cereal box, and that was his inspiration for the day. Just like Tisha Talks Live today, the inspiration was because I read his post, I loved it. I actually reached out to him and I said, I loved it. I would love to connect with you. That was awesome. I saved his post so I could mention it to you guys today to go check it out because it was so good. And he responded right away, and we are now instant connection. So that is how organic growth happens. There's effort put in, there's a hello in there somewhere, and there's continuing and cultivating that relationship. Junette's a perfect example of how we connected as well. And she even wrote here, she said, awkward. Yes, it is awkward when someone doesn't send you a request. They just say connect with nothing in there, and they expect that like the magic is going to start happening. It's not going to happen, especially if I don't connect with you because I don't know why you're connecting with me. So like she said, start the conversation with a short note. Saying hello is pretty powerful stuff. Let me tell you. Pretty powerful stuff. Nat putting a comment up here. Nat says, we have to be patient and consistent in our approach to content. Yes, just like Nat's sharing, you can't be one of those, I post and then I get off. I post and then I get off. You have to be consistent. You have to be doing things. People will start to recognize your content, and it will start to go into their feed when you start connecting with them more and they start seeing you more and more. And that's how this builds. That's how this builds. That's how you start to get known. Here's a great example. Luis Melendez, he joined me on one of our Casual Convo Friday talks I do every Friday with my co-host Nate Flood out of Georgia. We started exchanging messages on LinkedIn. I mentioned, hey, if you like that one, I also have Tisha Talks Live where I actually do a lot of the talking. I'm not just taking notes. And I said, you should check it out. And so he's been coming for the last couple of weeks and being an avid viewer of this series. So that's how organic growth and organic reach is going to work. But you've got to be putting some effort. And like I said, posting doesn't have to be rocket science. Actually, that's why I'm telling you, check out Kevin's post, because he talks about inspiration can come from anything. Inspiration can come from headlines in the news, something you saw that made you smile. I always do a Sunday takeaway, and you guys know I'm hearing that from my church. I'm like, I love that message. I'm going to post it. That's it. Whatever inspires you, whatever grabs your attention, a connection that you made, something that made you smile, something that made you think, whatever it is. People want to get in the mind of what you're thinking because they're probably thinking it too. And that's how you're going to be finding those like-minded folks. That's how your opportunities start to grow. That's how you start to unlock more doors. So I just want to share with you. The other thing I want you to avoid is the give to get mentality. How many of you have seen that? Well, I'm going to give you something. I know Nat knows because he and I know some people like this, but I'm going to give you something, but only if I'm going to get something out of this. If I'm not getting anything out of this, I'm out. I'm out. You're dead to me. That is not the right approach. Your approach should be, I'm going to give you value and you're going to see that and you're going to like that, and we're going to continue cultivating the relationship, and I have no expectation at all. But what you'll find is because you are that type of person that has this give mentality, not this get to give mentality, it's going to come back to you. It's going to come back to you in the form of referrals, in form of opportunities, in the form of new connections. And that's why you do what you do. All right. So that's the other thing I want to share with you as well. Okay. I just have to say this. I have to say this because I'm still getting this. Hey, Steve, good to see you. Steve joining me on LinkedIn. Good. We're getting some people in. Thanks so much for tuning into this Tisha Talks Live. And then I can't forget Emmy. Emmy, good to have you on with me too. Great being with you, Tisha. Thanks so much for that, joining me off of Facebook. Yeah. Nat, give to get. I'm here. Is my check in the mail? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You guys know that I love the book, The Go-Giver. I love, love, love the book, The Go-Giver. And I talk about it very frequently in a lot of my posts. It's actually something that I share in Networking with a Purpose, my talk that I give that I've actually been asked to give again because I gave it at Agorapulse LinkedIn edition over the summer. Someone saw it and she's like, I would love for you to come and do this talk. So there you go, another opportunity off of that, off of giving. But what I want to say with the Go-Giver is this whole mentality, and I want all of us to get behind this, of what's the value that you bring. You should always be looking at what's the value you bring, that extreme value you bring, without the expectation that you're going to get something. Because if that's your expectation, you're already setting yourself up for some failure. If it's, I'm going to give this and I know it's going to come back to me in all these sorts of ways, that's the mentality that you have. It's not, I'm going to give it and now where's my check? I need that check, just like Nat said. All right. So we don't want that. We definitely don't want that. Okay. So the other thing that I wanted to share is this. Okay, you guys know this, you know this. You connect with someone, you're like, awesome. We're so, we're connected. We've got this great relationship, and automatically it's, I do this, I do this, I do. It's a laundry list of things they do. Here's my Calendly. Let's book it. I want to know more about you and how I can tell you more about all the services I provide. All right, I don't know about you guys, but that's when I'm like, okay, so you definitely had the give to get mentality. I don't know why we're connected, because that's not really what I'm about. I like to ease into relationships. I don't know about you guys, but easing into relationships, not first date, let's talk sales, let's go, how do I become a client of yours? That's not what it's about. It's more about easing into the relationship, cultivating that relationship, and seeing where that goes. So I'm going to give you a really good example as we start to wrap this up. And then I'm going to tell you about a free event that I want you guys to all tune in with me on. But this is a story that leads into that event. So several months ago, I posted this on LinkedIn. There was a woman, Elizabeth Westbrook. She posted something on her page. I liked it. I commented on it. And it was all about the Y Institute, Dan Dominguez, Gary Sanchez, all of these wonderful folks. And I remember her post was about Dan and doing some work with the Y Institute and why you should know your why. And I remember loving that post, responding with a comment, and then Dan doing exactly what he needed to do, commenting back on mine. Dan and I then take it offline. We get into a conversation on LinkedIn off on a message. We take it offline. We have a virtual one-on-one or a virtual latte on Zoom. And then we find out we're so much the same kind of people that we end up collaborating on so many projects. So he ends up becoming my sponsor for the Startup Business Grant that I did in September. I gave a grant to a startup out of the UK, Sharon Deep, to start her business. And Dan actually sponsored that. Now, fast forward today, I have helped him create this whole Y program in terms of helping coaches utilize the why, because I see it as something so valuable that now I'm actually sitting on a panel with the owner, with several other people on February 17th at 1 p.m. called Awaken the Why Within. A lot of us struggle with, what the hell is my why? Like, why do I need a why? And what is my why? And so I want to challenge you, if you have that time available, to tune into this live panel, 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, February 17th, Awaken the Why Within. I'll drop the link in the comments section on all of these channels. But when you do that, they're actually giving you the why assessment for free. Now, the why assessment goes for $47 value, but it's such a great starting point if you're really struggling with, why am I wired the way I am? What do I do with this why? How do I know what my why is? So I want to give you that little nugget for tuning in today to this live stream, that free gift, free panel. I'm sitting on it on February 17th. Another event, if you're in the Phoenix area, the Phoenix Business Journal Biz Women Mentoring Monday. This is a national event taking place all across the nation and every single business journal. I've been very honored to be a part of it for the last 4 years, mentoring with some amazing greats like Debbie Gaby and Linsu Cooney and, amazing people. So that's coming up. That's also a free event for women only, I believe. And you should check that out too. So I'll drop both those links. Hey, Conrad, sorry I was late. He writes, sorry I was late. It's okay, man. I totally get it. I know what it's like. I'm just glad you're here. So thank you for being here and thank you for spending your afternoon with me on Tisha Talks Live. So I'd love to hear from you guys as I wrap this up. What are some things that you would add to this? And drop them in the chat, or if you're watching the replay, what are some no-nos that you see people doing? And how are you continuing to build that organic reach, that organic growth on whatever platform you're choosing? And I'm just going to give you a recap of what I said. First of all, it's putting in the effort. The second thing is you are going to be posting, and posting, again, remember, doesn't have to be a whole lot of brain power. It's what happened today? What was a conversation that you had? What's something that made you smile? What inspired you? Is there something that you read or heard or listened to that really sparked an interest in you, that really, really touched a nerve? That's the things that you should be posting. It's those feelings, it's that emotion, it's all of those things, because that ultimately contributes back to why you are the way you are, why you do the things you do. So we're going to be posting, we're going to put some effort in, and we are not, repeat this, we are not going to not say hello to people. Okay, that's just plain out rude. You want to start a conversation, it's plain out awkward, say hi to the person. If that's in person or if that's online, don't just send connection, friend requests, whatever these things are. And definitely do not be pitching in any of those messages as well. We don't need that. Nobody needs that. That's just an automatic, you're out. That's a strikeout. Yes. Louise, thank you. Thank you for putting that in there. Not listening is a big no-no as well. Absolutely. Not listening. Exactly. I've had people that I can't tell you, I've gotten messages from them, and I think the conversation started out well, but there was so much pressure. I had in fact, a gentleman who was like, you want to be a franchise owner? No. Do you want to be a franchise owner? No. Well, when do you want to be a no. I'm sorry, no. Like, I'm going to try and politely tell you, but no, I'm not your perfect client. So yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how many more times I need to tell you and how I can say it 100 different ways, but thank you, but no thank you. And that's okay. And when someone says that, Louise, like this whole, if they're not listening and you're trying to tell them no, you got to move on, or maybe you just need to cut them off. I know that's harsh. I know, but they're not listening. They're never going to listen to you, and they're not getting it. They're not getting it. So I'm big into that too. We have to be, we have to have that good relationship that comes with two people coming together, working at their relationship. It just cannot be someone just constantly pressuring you. All right. So good stuff. Thank you so much for tuning in. People all on Facebook and on LinkedIn, and especially the replay. Appreciate you guys for being here. So I'm going to just set the week up. So you guys know, I mentioned this back in oh my gosh, it's been so long, mid-January, that I've been taking my real estate classes. I'm becoming a realtor. Actually, I'm using it for other purposes. I'll have to divulge later, but been starting these classes. And so you're going to see me bringing in more guests because it's a lot less effort in a way, just so I could finish the next 2 weeks of my life and get these tests done. Conrad knows, being a realtor, that it's a lot. It's a lot of studying. So I'm going to be bringing in some amazing guests. Next week I'll be on Tuesday, and then Thursday I have my good friend Adam Ranville talking about social selling. So if you guys are interested in that topic at all, make sure you tune in. He's coming on February 11th at Tisha Talks Live as well. So just know that there are several guests coming. Very excited to welcome them and to interview them. We also had Joseph Rosales this past Tuesday talking about being the leader of you, as well as Kathy Droz last Thursday. So make sure that you check them out. And then another thing, let me just put this up here just in case. Some of you asked me, how do I see all of these Tisha Talks live? If you try to go to Facebook, if you try to go to LinkedIn and you try to just look for these, it's really, really challenging to find them because they're commingled, mixed and mingled with all of these other things that I'm doing, all of these other posts, convos in my Camry, rule of life lessons, all of these things. So this is honestly the best thing you can do if you really like these is just subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can find me at bit.ly/Tisha on YouTube, just a quicker way to get to that channel. And then there is a playlist specifically dedicated to Tisha Talks Live at 4:45. Go ahead and just go crazy. Your heart's content. Go ahead and watch them all if you like. Binge watch them because we have some fun on this show for sure. All right. Yes, Conrad, thank you. Conrad writes, real estate school is a lot, but you can. Yes, Conrad, I'm learning so much that I'll probably forget once the test is done, but so much. It's actually pretty good. I'm actually really enjoying it. And I just want to give a big shout out to James Christensen. James with Gateway Bank out here in Gilbert, another gentleman that I met off of LinkedIn through posting. But he said, trying to scare me into buying is an immediate no. Need to build relationship first and then grow into a relationship. Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay, James, you put it so beautifully, so beautifully. Yes. Your goal is not to make a sale. Oh my gosh. Okay, I don't have it in here, but you guys saw, I talked about this in a rule of life lesson just last week. I talked about impact versus income. And what's more important to you? I'll probably even do a Tisha Talks Live about this because I want to extend the conversation. Impact versus income. If you are all about the income, people see it. They see you coming from miles away. All you've got is money on the brain. You're the sale, you're the sale, you're the sale. And you're looking at people as if they're a transaction. You're looking at them as a number, and people hate that. I don't know who likes that. I hate it. Everybody I know hates that. So think about what's the impact you make that then leads to the income. Impact to income, right? So just like James is talking about, build a relationship first, make the impact, get impacted as well, because relationships are, remember I said, it's a two-way street. It's not, one person's putting in all the effort and the other person is just taking. It's more about this reciprocal thing of everybody putting in the effort and so on. And then watch what happens. I always say this, and I love that they talk about this in the Go-Getter, that some people are never going to be your client, but it doesn't mean that they're not going to be a fan. It doesn't mean that they're not going to be a referral source for you. They may not ever be a client of yours, but they can always be an ambassador of yours because they like you. They like you so much that they would just walk on water for you and give you the moon if they could. So be that type of person. Gary's here too. Wow. I love this conversation. All right, June, binge watch. Yes, definitely binge watch. I know, I need to binge watch yours. I miss yours too. Oh, nice. Look at this. I already have a client. I'm looking to retire in a few years, so get ready. I will ask you to find me a house. All right, Lewis, it is on. Luis, it is on. Okay, I will be that person for you. So look at that. Look at that. You tuned into my Tisha Talks Live, and I'm already getting clients. Awesome. And Conrad's saying money is the byproduct of the value you provide others. Absolutely. Absolutely. What is the value you provide? What is the impact that you make on someone's life? Because trust me, they remember it. They may not act on it right away. It might be years and years and years, but you never know. People come back to you. It's on their timeline. Remember, it's not yours. Their timeline, not yours. Oh, yes. Absolutely. We're going to have some fun with that too, Luis. I have a whole idea going for you, okay? Adding in my personality and the property and all that fun stuff. So we'll have some fun when you're ready to buy that house. Gary Rogers, good to see you. Was driving, huh? Yeah, good to see you. Hopefully you're not driving and trying to listen to this at the same time. Hopefully you are practicing safe driving habits and pulled over to the side of the road. But good to have you on and good to see you again. All right, guys, it's officially 5:08. I think I've extended my stay a little bit because now it's time for that mom hat to be put on. But I just want to say thanks so much for tuning into this live stream and tuning into just hearing me talk about organic reach on LinkedIn and some of those mistakes that I keep seeing people make over and over. I will say this, that I probably have about 100 people that have connected with me on LinkedIn, and there are probably about like five people 5 people who have actually sent me an actual hello, I'm so and so, it's good to see you, I love your content. And then I think out of those 5 people, I have 2 people that in their connection request are trying to pitch me. That's not okay either. Okay? There shouldn't be, again, what did we talk about? There shouldn't be this get to give or give to get mentality. It should be about just 2 people meeting people and that's it. 2 people connecting and seeing where the magic happens. All right? Sometimes the magic's not there and sometimes it is. I'm going to bet you it is. All right, that's it for Tisha Talks Live. I want to say thanks so much for tuning into my little series here that I do every Tuesday and Thursday. And I will be back at 4:45 Mountain Standard Time, Arizona time, next Tuesday. And don't forget those freebies that I told you about, the Phoenix Business Journal Biz Women Mentoring Monday free event coming up on February 22nd from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. I am one of the mentors. So if you're like, I only use a mentor, this is an amazing place. There's 30 plus mentors. And this is an event that is all across the nation, all across the nation. So if you don't live in Arizona, I know Gary, I'm looking at him, lives in Florida. There's probably an event taking place too. If you just look at Business Journal's Mentoring Monday. And then the other event is coming up on February 17th, Awaken the Why Within. This is put on by the Why Institute. And I am just super happy to be one of the passing on the panel talking about why you need a why and how do you awaken the why within and what do you do with that why. So remember what I said, if you tune in live, you also get the assessment for free, which normally goes for $47. So hey, there's some value. All right, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week and weekend, and I will catch you back. And if we're not connected yet, I hope you'll connect with me. You can find me on LinkedIn at Tisha Marie Pelletier, or definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to binge watch these series. All right, have a great one. Bye.